Alright, teach yourself.
5.1. Finalising an image. So here we are, almost at the end of what I can teach you without making this course super bloated. I'll add some videos as bonus content. And there will always be new functionality coming with MidJourney, so do sign up for updates on the link below. And yes, we still need to go over tips for adding your text, but before we get to that stage, I'm going to give you a good recap of the stages of creating an image, because there's a couple more things worth adding we haven't covered yet. First, let's recap the formula for making a prompt. To me, this is style, which we find using style referencing, or mood boards, or we can find how someone else has constructed their prompt by using the Explore page, plus subject, which we can isolate by experimenting with answers to our checklist. And do play with different ideas. Something will always pop out that catches our eye. And try this with different styles. We're playing, we're getting our hands dirty, plus other words we can add for mood, colors, and direction. Let's go through the stages of how I would prepare an image ready to make into a book cover, once we've found something we feel is going to work. Step 1. As we've been creating images, we should have been liking the ones we liked, so we can easily find our favorites. There's actually a whole video about this subject in the bonus section, so we can go back to our Organize page and see what we've liked, maybe decide the one we like. Step 2. At this stage, I would click on the image we like and run some strong variations, maybe do 3 to 5 runs of that, because these might give us a mood or layout we prefer. Let's do that. Go back to the Create page and like the one we really like so we don't forget. And then also let's click on More and Editor. Step 3. We need to expand this image to create our negative space for text. Throughout the creating stage, we were working in a ratio of 1 to 1. But a book cover is in a ratio of 5 to 8. There isn't an option for 5 to 8, so for the moment let's select 2 to 3, which is close enough. And let's move the image down so we'd put the text at eye line. And I would probably scale down the image to 75% to 85% of the size, which will give us more room to play when we crop. Remember to delete the prompt and change it for something like sky, wall, blank, and submit and go back to the Create page. It's starting to look more like a book cover. Step 4. Edit parts we don't like on the image or things we don't want to see. Stray items that might interfere with our text, or maybe a body part we don't like. I'll do this by iterating with the editor. So right-click, select More, and then Editor. Use the Erase tool and type into the prompt box what we want to see on that erased part. Hit Submit and go back to the Create page to see what it's done. We might have to do this a few times for all the things we want to change until we've got the perfect image. Step 5. Then there is one final thing we need to do inside of MidJourney, and that's to upscale our image. MidJourney natively doesn't produce massive images. The resolution when creating is 1000 by 1000. And anyone that has published on KDP knows that an image needs to be at least 1600 by 2560 pixels. So we need to get the most we can out of MidJourney. We do that by clicking on the image, click on Upscale Subtle. Personally, I never use the creative option because it changes the image too much. That will output an image at 2 to 3 of 1792 by 2688 pixels, so we're in luck for Kindle covers. Once the upscale has finished, we can save our final image by right-clicking on it, click on Share Save, then Save, or simply click on Copy and paste it into our graphics application if we already have a canvas set up at the right size. And then one final thing I always do, step 6. We're going to talk about color, image, levels, and saturation. To my eyes, as a book cover designer, MidJourney version 6.1, or any other AI image generator for that matter, seems to make images that are somewhat dark and slightly unsaturated. The first thing I do with any image before making a book cover is to play around with these two things. I use Zara Designer Pro, but all graphics applications will allow you to play with these settings. Another place online you can use for free to do this is pixlr.com/editor. I've put a link to that and the instructions of how to use it in the description below. And here are the images side by side. You want to give yourself the best chance of your cover being spotted standing out. So yes, a little bit of saturation and playing with the levels to help your cover to stand out against your competition is always a smart thing to do. So to recap, finalizing an image. 1. Like images as you go. 2. Do variations on your chosen image. 3. Expand the image. 4. Use the editor to alter things we don't like. 5. Upscale the final image. 6. Play around with the levels and saturation. I also promised you some tips on typography design for book covers, so I'm going to give you some pearls of wisdom in the next section on things to think about when adding text. I'll join you there with my massive font collection.